Hi, air signs time. So, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, this reading is for you and for anybody else who is drawn to it. If you're drawn to this reading, then stay tuned because it is actually for you. I'm Andy. We are using the Old Faithful Rider-Waite Tarot, very close to the original Truth of Tarot, and a deck that a lot of people start their journey with the tarot using, actually, because it's fairly easy to understand, but it's got all the old magic with it. So let's turn over the top one. What have we got? Four of Wands. This is the first one. Now then, this is a very happy scene. Let me bring it up a bit closer there for you to have a look. A very happy scene indeed. But where is it going? Okay, that's a question to ask. Have you ever sort of, dreamed of being in a relationship with a particular person and it's actually happened? And then, what we're going to do next? Immediately there's a tension there because life has to have a story, life has to be going somewhere, or it just doesn't feel right, and sooner or later that kind of gets to you, Life is change. If life isn't changing, then it gets very stagnant. We get into stuck energy. You may be experiencing that already, guys, or you may be on your way to experiencing that. In any case, the answer is just to have a plan. And if you're a happy couple like these two here, then great, try and have a plan that benefits both of you. If it's a family, try and have a plan that works for the whole family. Look for something that works. That's what this card is inviting you to do. It is a very happy scene though, and it's a good place to be. So let's not kind of get too drawn down into what could be wrong with it. It looks absolutely great. This is just about how do we go about moving on into the future. But there's a golden sky, and they've got a great big castle of a house, and just the number 4, it's a good square number in numerology. It means everything's kind of set up and hopefully moving towards getting settled as well, because actually having that plan and moving forward with life is all part of feeling settled and being settled within yourself. So let's say Gemini, you could take that as the card for you if you want, or you could see this as a 3-card spread for all of the signs. The most important thing with this, and any reading by any reader at all, even readings you do yourself online, is what does it actually mean to you? There are many readers out there who, well, I don't think they're real readers actually, but they're people who are searching for money really as much as anything, and some of them are complete fakes. And they will try and tell you, well, if you don't spend a lot of money on this thing that I'm offering, you're never going to get anywhere. Beware of those, for goodness sake. I don't think you need me to tell you that, actually. It's kind of pretty obvious. But, what the reading actually means to you, what it says to you is really important, because then it's answering something deep within your own heart. And it's actually, something that you've been drawn to. And this is what I was saying at the beginning, really. If you're drawn to watch a thing like this, it doesn't matter whether it's for your star sign or whatever. We're drawn to the readings, and we're drawn to notice the things that we're drawn to notice. So that's the 4 of Wands there. It's all looking pretty good, but think about the future, because the future's going to come no matter what. And the thing you can bank on, actually, is if you give your mind and your heart to this sort of progress and this idea, then you will actually be able to stay in that happy situation, or at least you'll be able to stay that happy as you go forward, which is rather good news. Okay, card number 2. It's the Hermit. It's number 9. Now, this is an invitation to think about things, I guess. Sometimes we don't want to think so much as just take notice of the ideas and the intuition that's coming to us. That's real important as well, because just like being drawn to a person or drawn to a thing, actually going deep within ourselves, it gets us in touch with information that's actually meant for us, whatever's coming in from the universe. It might not be what we expect, it might not be the first thing that comes into our head, but if we contemplate a bit, we will actually get the hang of it. Now, the Hermit is holding this beautiful glowing lantern here, and since these are sort of medieval, I mean, it's not a medieval deck, it's kind of maybe a century old, this deck and this set of images at the moment. But it is quite an old deck, and so I guess that's like a candle light or an oil lamp or something natural. That's what I'm getting at. It's a natural light even though it's been sort of made into a thing that the Hermit can hold up there. And this is all about letting natural light fall upon whatever's going on within you, whichever way your heart is facing, and whatever direction you feel life is pulling you in, you know. Because when you shed natural light on that, you actually come up with an answer that is natural and good for you. This could mean taking a break from the internet, and believe me, my friends, it is a wonderful thing sometimes to take a break from the internet. I haven't been on the internet as much as usual for quite a while now because my prayers have been answered. I've been trying to sort of earn my living from the internet for a long time. Something like since about 2003, I think I started trying. And it just started paying off in the last few months. Work is coming in all the time and I'm absolutely delighted. But that 13 months was a good time for me to be kind of examining myself all the time. And particularly because most of what I do is psychic readings and mediumship. I was in that zone sort of constantly. And I still am, you know. But it was good to have that time for the natural light to shine into my soul and find out what I really wanted and get things kind of pointed in the direction that I actually wanted to be pointed in. But I didn't know how to do it. You know, and the heart has all those answers within it. Someone asked the Dalai Lama of Tibet once, why do good things sort of happen to bad people? And why do bad things happen to good people? Why are there wars? Why is all this sort of horrible stuff going on in the world if there's a loving God and there are spiritual answers to things? Why? And he said, well, I can't actually tell you why in words, but if you look in your heart, you will find the answers. And the human heart is very full of answers. It's been discovered that the human heart actually contains cells. In fact, most of the bodily organs actually contain cells which look as if they're capable of thought. They're very similar to brain cells. And I'm sure that spiritually is what's going on, you know. Our spiritual awareness tends to happen all over the body and not just in the mind. That's why we meditate and breathe slowly and try to get into that space. So there's an invitation to meditate here. This is card number 9, you see. It's kind of just one number before the number 10 of completion. Now that completion, rather like in the 4 of Wands, doesn't mean that it's all over and everything's going to be kind of just the same forever. But it means completion of whatever leg of the journey you're on at the moment. And it's important to get it completed because life is a conveyor belt. And once you've completed the situation you're in now, got that as good as you possibly can, you're ready to move on to the next thing. Very like the message of the 4 of Wands, actually, and it's very good the way it's come up now. But it is a dark scene round the Hermit here, and we're looking at and we're thinking about the long, dark night of the soul. Now, there is no getting away from that. It is part of having a soul, and actually, it is part of being a human being as well. So don't fear that darkness, okay? I'm not saying go gently into that long good night, as the song says. Do not go gently into that long good night. That's not what this is all about. This is about making some time, maybe every day, maybe actually for a week or two, or however long a period of time you think it matters, maybe just a couple of hours. But take some time to actually live within your own heart, within your own mind, and meditate, if you will. Just give some thought to that. Maybe even pray about the future. That's entirely up to you. I'm not coming at this from a religious angle, absolutely not at all. But the brain, the human mind, is a very, very magical kind of a thing. And when you get it in tune with the heart mind and what all these things that are going on in your life actually mean to you, then you get in a position where you know whether you want to sort of let go of things from the past in order to bring things in the future, or, whatever you want to do. That's the main thing. It gets you deeply and closely in tune with yourself. So it's a bit of a grim scene here. It is actually a very, very positive card. And it's number 9. It's really kind of close to getting everything synchronized and into a state of completion. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the air signs. Let us find out what we have got for you guys. Let's just put that up there. And let's have a shuffle and turn over the top card again. And this time, excuse me, gosh. This time it's the Knight of Swords. Very powerful energy here. The knights are real kind of powerful characters. They don't have the easy life of the king and queen, and they're more senior than the pages, so they've got to actually make things happen, and they've got to be good at what they do. And if you've been through the hermit thing, then you'll be much better at what you're going to do. Again, it's nice to have this coming in straight after the card before it, the hermit, because it makes sense that way, you know. The stronger you are in your own convictions, the better you're going to do on your journey, and the more sense everything is going to make. Now, the Knight of Swords, actually, that's a good one, because swords represent the air signs. So this is actually really close to all of your hearts, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, the air signs. Swords are about making decisions as much as anything, but also about the progress that comes on, that follows on from actually being decisive and making those decisions. That's why you need to do the hermit thing, and you need this energy to move you on. Look how exciting this is. This really brings excitement to your Four of Wands situation that we started with. This really gets things moving. The Knight of Swords is a character who will kind of he'll just kind of move on and get things done anyway if you don't want to take part in it. And that is a sign that you don't absolutely have to do this right now. This is all about life's journey, and it's going to unfold like how you're drawn to a reading when it's right. This is going to unfold for you when the time is right. But you'll get a lot further if you're actually convinced of the rightness of what you want to do. Then you can convince the Knight of Swords, who is there somewhere in your heart, and then you can make it happen. So for a recap, we've started off with the Four of Wands, golden sky, everything looking wonderful. But what's next? Consult your own inner hermit. Be your own hermit. Spend some time on that. However long you think you should, that's up to you. But spend some time with yourself, deep inside your own heart, deep inside your own soul. Breathe slowly, close your eyes, visualize what you want to happen. Then you'll have a plan. Then you can convince the Knight of Swords, and then you can really get on your way. I'm going to strongly recommend, guys, that you take all three of those cards, just because it was a sword card that came in the end. Really kind of sums up the whole reading. But however you want to see it, that's entirely up to you. Thank you very much for watching. If anybody would like a personal reading, I'm here working on those all the time. Drop me an email. The email address is down there. It's 35and83@gmail.com. That is 35and83@gmail.com. I almost forgot. Drop me an email to that, and I'll be very glad to help you out with a personal reading. I also do birth charts, astrology, compatibility, things to do with astrology. And if you've got a big day coming up and you want to know how the astrology is sitting for that day, I can help with that as well. Small fees involved, I'm afraid, because I do this for a living. But there we go. It's because I followed my heart for such a long time that I have the absolute privilege of being able to make a living from this now at last. And I want to thank all my long-time viewers, actually, because you've been kind of spurring me on to keep going. Your support means a lot. And if you're a first-time viewer, I really want to welcome you. Your support means a lot too. That's the whole reason I'm here today. That's how these things work. So thank you very much for watching. Leave me a comment, guys. It's always good to know who I'm doing these readings for. Helps get the energy zeroed in for the next one, and for this one as well, in lots of ways. Subscribe to the channel, please, as well, if you haven't already, because as soon as I get to 1,000 subscribers, I can start doing live videos from this little place up here. I did one the other week from my laptop, and it's really kind of quite difficult to work with that laptop, it is. So please subscribe and help me get on live with these videos. Then we'll see some fixing, then we'll make a difference. Meanwhile, have a fantastic time, friends. Have a great week ahead. I'll be back soon with more readings, so take care of yourself. Peace.